In Norse mythology, Thor is a hammer-wielding god associated with thunder, lightning, storms, strength, the protection of mankind, and also hallowing and fertility. Thor is the son of Odin and giantess Fjorgyn. Thor's hammer Mjolnir is the main defense against the giants, enemies of the gods. He was a major god of all branches of the Germanic peoples, before their conversion to Christianity, although he reached the height of his popularity among the Scandinavians of the late Viking Age. Thor lives in Asgard together with his wife Sif, at a place called Thrudheim, and it is the biggest house known in Asgard. Thor and Sif live with their 2 children, Trud and Modi, but also a stepson named Ulla, who Thor adopted. He also son named Magni, with a giantess called Jarnsaxa. Whenever Thor rides out from Asgard in his chariot, he has 2 goats that pull his chariot. Their names are Tannjorst, Teeth Bearer, and Tangrishner, Teeth Grinder. People down below in Midgard can hear the loud sounds from the wheels, and see the sparks and lightning from the wheels, as Thor flies across the sky. If Thor is going to be away from home for more than a day, he will cook the 2 goats, but Thor will always revive them with his hammer Mjolnir the next day. Mjolnir was created through the trickery of the god Loki, also known as the trickster. The hammer gave Thor his extensive power, and was said to be forged by a dwarf. One day, Loki the trickster found himself in an especially mischievous mood, and cut off the gorgeous golden hair of Sif, the wife of Thor. When Thor learned of this, his quick temper was enraged, and he seized Loki, and threatened to break every bone in his body. Loki pleaded with Thor to let him go down to Svartalfheim, the cavernous home of the dwarves, and see if those master craftspeople could fashion a new head of hair for Sif. True to his word, Loki traveled to the home of dwarves, and found the sons of Ivaldi, master craftsmen who fashioned new hair for Sif, and 2 other masterworks, ship Skidbladner and Gungnir. Skidbladner was the best of all ships, which always has a favorable wind, and can be folded up and put into one's pocket, and Gungnir, the deadliest of all spear. Loki was enamored by their masterful work, and decided he wanted more. He tricked another 2 dwarf brothers, Brokkr and Sindri. He manipulated them, by saying they would not be able to craft better items than the other 2 brothers had. Sindri then created Gullinbursti, a boar with golden hair, and another masterpiece called Draupnir, a golden ring which reproduces itself 8 times every 9th night. Sindri began to work on a hammer. Loki turned to fly and bit him on the eyelid. He managed to produce Mjolnir even with Loki's interference, but the weapon ended up having a shorter handle than he wished. The 2 dwarf brothers, Sindri and Brokkr, went to Asgard to claim payment for the 3 magnificent pieces they created, but unfortunately Loki arrived back first. Loki gave the hammer and new hair to Thor, the ring and spear to Odin, and the ship and the golden-haired boar to Freya. No god was stronger than Thor. His hammer Mjolnir was able to destroy mountains, and he used it to smash the heads of the giants that threatened Asgard and Midgard, the world of humanity. Thor also has some other powerful items, like a pair of iron gauntlets and a magical belt. When he wears both of these, it makes him twice as strong. Mjolnir was once stolen by the giant Thrym, and the price for getting it back was the hand of the fertility goddess Freya. Theolfi and Roskva are 2 male and female siblings, who were servants of the god Thor. They are the children of a peasant farmer from Midgard. Long ago, when Thor and Loki stayed one night at their farm, Thor shared the meat generously with the family from his 2 goats. The boy Thialfi broke one of the bones, and sucked out the delicious marrow. When Thor resurrected the goats, he found out that one of the goats was limping on the legs. Thor became furious, and demanded that Thialfi and Roskva should become his servants, and come with him to Asgard. Hundreds of Mjolnir amulets have been discovered in Viking graves, and other Norse archaeological sites. Norsemen continued to wear these hammer amulets, even after converting to Christianity, suggesting that Thor's role as a hero and protecting influence had not diminished. When the Vikings saw the skies flashing, and felt the rumble of the storm, they knew that Thor was fighting for them again. Thor's popularity surged in the 21st century, with the emergence of the Marvel comic book franchise and Marvel Cinematic Universe.